I'm on a mission to talk about Lisa Barlow, not your feelings, and I love that for myself. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael and I am here to review Season 4, Episode 12 of The Real Housewives Being Insensitive of Salt Lake City. So we start the episode off at Angie K's house and we see Heather breaking in. If I was Angie K, I would have had security tackle her down to the ground like, "Oh, Heather, that was you coming in. I thought I was getting robbed. I'm sorry. No, you could get up." So they start talking about the Pioneer lunch. All of a sudden, Heather, she has amnesia. And she's like, "So what exactly happened at the luncheon? Like, where did things go left?" Maybe it was the question that you asked the group. If you had to throw somebody off the wagon because it was too heavy, who would it be? Lisa said Monica because Monica is the nastiest to women. Monica reacted and now we're here. And now you're acting clueless? And then Angie K, she's like, yeah, Monica reacted very extreme and she was very rude and disrespectful towards Lisa Barlow. And then Heather in the confessional, she's like, Monica has this fun, nice side to her that I really like. But then all of a sudden, she has this mean, vicious side to her that I don't like. And it reminds me of Jen Shah. And first of all, Heather, the fact that you're labeling Monica as mean and vicious when that's literally been Lisa Barlow's behavior the last couple of episodes, yet that goes unnoticed, right? You want to label Monica that because Monica reacted to something that Lisa called her? Like, what do you expect her to say? Like, you know what, you're right, I'll throw myself off the wagon too because I'm nasty. Of course not. If Whitney would have called you nasty and she would have told you, hey, Heather, by the way, I'm throwing you off my wagon because I think you look inbred and you're nasty, I'm throwing you off the wagon, I'm pretty sure you would have had the same reaction. And the fact that you're trying to label her the new Jen Shah just because she's defending herself against Lisa is crazy to me because Jen Shah, she was just like that by nature. You know, if you say hi to her the wrong way, she'll go off on you for no reason. Monica is not doing that. And again, you have all these labels and things for Monica, but for Lisa's behavior, it goes unnoticed. You just look the other way. Why? Because you want to be up her ass so badly the same way that you were up Jen Shah's ass. Now you replaced her with Lisa. We then see Whitney and her husband Justin coming from what I'm assuming is couples therapy, which I wish we would have seen that, but they're in the car together with matching Gucci shirts for some reason. Yeah, they need therapy. And Whitney, she starts off by saying, sometimes I feel like the therapist is trying to put us against each other because I'm trying to talk to him about my money spending and he says that he doesn't want to talk about it. So Justin is just like, yeah, I kind of prefer us talking to Zeph and Meredith, you know, because Zeph is understanding of me. And Whitney's like, so you're looking for validation? Now, where did he say that, Whitney? All he said was that he liked talking to Meredith and Zeph a little bit better. That's it. And so do you, Miss. Oh, let's get in the bathtub together. Don't act like I forgot last week's episode. So then she gets a text message concerning her friend Sherry's health. Her friend Sherry has cancer. She's not doing well. Whitney's worried, and we all see how this turns out later on in the episode. We'll get to that. And she starts telling Justin, are the issues that we're even going through even worth it compared to something that Sherry's going through? And I get what she's trying to say, but I don't think that anybody should ever minimize their own issues in their own personal life just because they look at somebody else that they know personally going through what they look at as something worse, because those issues are still going to be there regardless. Don't stay with each other out of pity because then you're going to cause resentment, which causes more issues in this relationship. Last week, you were just telling us that it's hard for you to stay monogamous in this marriage, yet now you want to put all of that to the side just because you see that your friend is going through something tougher. Like, no, Whitney, those issues are still there. You need to fix that. Then we see Lisa and Meredith heading out to get food and drinks, and Lisa's very crafty when it comes to advertising her tequila. Everywhere she goes, can I get a Vita? Can I get a Vita? Can I get a Vita? That's all she orders. So they get the food, and Meredith, she starts off by telling Lisa, so what's going on between you and Monica? Is everything good? Lisa is like, you know what? I just don't understand what's Monica's issue. Like, she's calling me ugly. She's calling me self-centered. I don't understand why she talks to women like that. Specifically me. I never talk to women like that. Oh, you haven't? Should we flash back to season 2 again with the hot mic moment? Should we flash back a couple of episodes ago when you told Monica, nobody wants to be your mother, and now you don't talk to women like that? Okay, so then as she's explaining that, she's like, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like how Monica's coming at me. She's making me react like that. So Meredith, she catches her slipping and she's like,
So wait a minute, what you're saying right now is triggering me. Did you tell Angie K that I was threatening her and her family?
Lisa was just like, no, I didn't. I just told her, hey, by the way, Meredith, she's gonna drop a bomb on you and your family. That's it. And to me, I mean, I take that as telling Angie K that, yeah, Meredith is threatening her. I mean, it's just a different wording, but she meant the same way. Meredith was just like, okay, got it. Because now you understand what's going on between me and Angie K. It's the same thing as you and Monica. And I mean, I kind of see where she's getting at with that. I kind of see her point. Lisa, on the other hand, it went right over her head. And she's like, no, it's not the same thing. Like, what are you talking about? Meredith was just like,
well, I mean, Angie K is coming at me, so I react to her bad behavior and the way she treats me, the same way that you react to Monica and her behavior towards you.
So then Lisa in the confessional, she was just like, no, Meredith is not getting it. She doesn't get that, you know, she's being indecisive and deceptive. Monica, she's just being a bitch. First of all, Lisa, watch those B words before you end up in the ocean. She won't look at it from Meredith's perspective because she knows that she's right. Meredith explained this whole entire conversation piece by piece, example with example. Yet I feel like when anybody talks to Lisa, all she does is sit there and think, what should I wear tomorrow? I love Vita Tequila. I'm craving Taco Bell right now. Can I touch? I love this. Why is Meredith talking like that? And the other issue between Angie K and Meredith is that even though Angie started this whole feud between them, Meredith doesn't know when to let it go. She holds a grudge, obviously Lisa, Jen Shah, and she's trying to almost ice Angie out the group. She's not inviting her to her plastic jewelry event for later on. Every time Angie attempts to talk it out with her or try to get to a better understanding, Meredith, she goes off, she walks away, she runs away actually. She doesn't give her the time of day. And on shows like this, you can't avoid other cast members. Just because you have an issue with them, like I get it that she does, but you know, you have to move on eventually at some point to keep the show going. At least with Lisa and Monica, yeah, they had like 100 fights. But you know, we finally got through a breakthrough last week where Lisa apologized, they both apologized. They're kind of moving on for now, but you know, we don't see the same thing with the others two, but Lisa, she was just like, well, you know, after that whole luncheon, Meredith, I had to kind of pump the brakes with you, our friendship, because I thought we were going somewhere, but I don't really like how you're moving with her. Meredith was just like,
oh, really? Well, I mean, you don't have to worry about me causing a tornado within this friend group or between me and Angie K because, well, karma comes back. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Then we head over to Mary's house and she's having Monica over, which is so funny to me how everybody goes to Mary's house, but she doesn't go to their event. And I won't be surprised if in the future they do the reunions from Mary's living room just so she could be there. So they sit down to talk. And I know Monica was sitting there with a headache, looking at all the different decor for the first time, like, is that a rainbow chair over there? Why is that mannequin head looking at me? Why is the kitchen blue? Is that a statue of the Brooklyn Bridge? Monica's like, where have you been? What's been going on with you? Mary is like, look, I needed to take a breather. I didn't want to lose my sanity over this group, specifically Whitney. And then I completely forgot about that whole argument, you know, because so much has happened since then on the bus where she told Whitney, you called me a pornography. She warns Monica to not lose her sanity over the group. But Monica was like, I don't know, Lisa, there's something going on with that one. You know, ever since I called her superficial, it's been nonstop with her. And Mary, she was just like, I understand, my young grasshopper, but explain, why do you feel that Lisa Barlow is superficial? Monica was like, you know, because every conversation, she's like, oh my God, is that Chanel? I love it. I love it. I love that. I love that Diet Coke. I love that. The way she mimics Lisa's voice again for a second time is just so perfect. Mary's laughing and then she tells Monica, I understand, my young grasshopper, how it could be frustrating being around Lisa Barlow, but sometimes it's best to just move on and forgive each other. Mary, is that you? I know that is not Mary M. Cosby telling somebody else on the show to forgive each other. But you know what? All right, fine. And then unfortunately, we see Whitney in the car and she confirms that her friend Sherry, who had cancer, has sadly passed away. And this whole entire scene was just very sad to watch. Seeing Whitney crying, she's trying to keep it together. I felt for her. And the fact that she's going through all these emotions and thoughts in front of all these cameras for us to watch, I know that that's not easy to do. And it's not easy for anybody to lose a loved one over cancer specifically too. Like, just, But then Angie K, she calls her and she was sweet. She was checking in on her like, hey, I'm sorry for your loss. What's going on? What can I do for you? Are you also going to Meredith's event later on? Whitney was like, well, Sherry will want me to go, since she was at my prison event not too long ago, which to me, the concept of life is just so insane to me, how you could literally be alive 1 second and be gone just like that, because we were literally just watching that episode not too long ago. She was there. We saw her in the flashback. She gave Whitney a hug. And then here we are a couple of episodes later and she's no longer alive. We then see Lisa, her husband John, and their son Jack heading out to buy clothes for Jack and his mission at this store called Mormon Missionary Men's House. They actually have stores for this bullshit. Like, what? So they go into the store. Lisa, already she's making it about herself. But I did like that first blue jacket that she had on. Lisa starts looking around at the store like, oh my God, I love it in here. I love the modern look. Can I touch? We need something jungle chic. I'm like, Lisa, now what is that supposed to mean? What is jungle chic? And what do you think your son is going to Colombia to do? To swing from tree to tree and fight off tigers, bears, and snakes? And Jack is just looking at her like, I should have just came with that alone. And I just don't know. Lisa is just so self-absorbed and so self-centered that she doesn't notice that her son just does not like her acting like this. She's telling him, maybe you should go up a size just in case if you gain weight and you get chubby. And then in the confessional, she makes it sound as if, Jack is going over there to do the people of Colombia a favor by saying, Jack is going to be waking up every single day and doing such amazing things. And again, for the 100th time, how can I say this? La gente de Colombia no necesita su basura, so ya párele, por favor. It's just so aggravating hearing them talk about this life-changing thing that they're doing to Colombia, and it's literally just converting people into being in a cult. And then Jack, he takes up after his mother, clearly, because he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go help poor people in this poor country. Again, as if he's doing them some grand favor. And on top of that, I don't even think that Jack is genuinely doing this because he wants to be a part of the church. He clearly wants to just get away from Lisa. And he's like, oh yeah, Mom, I hope when I come back, you can treat me like an adult. Because so far in this relationship between them, we've only seen Lisa take over every single decision that he wanted to do. He has never had a say in anything. It's always been about Lisa, Lisa, Lisa. And she just does not see that. And if she continues down that path, she's going to lose that relationship to her son. And according to her Twitter, as of now, as of today, right now as we speak, he's on his way to Colombia. So it's going to be interesting to see, when eventually he comes back to see their dynamic and how it is now. Heather and Monica meet up at the bar to discuss the Pioneer event. Heather asked her, so are you coming to the Bermuda trip, yes or no? Monica, she's like, no, I'm not going. Heather was like, okay. But deep down inside, she was thinking, oh no, our ratings are going to go down. People love Monica. What are we going to do? We need her. But Monica, she was like, oh no, I'm just kidding. I'm still going. So Heather, deep down inside, she thought, yes, our ratings are going to be good. We're going to get a season 5. So then Monica, she disappointed me. But then again, I understand why she did it. I guess. But she tells Heather, I just want to apologize for my behavior at the event. I'm like, no, Monica, no, stay strong. Don't do that. Don't fold to Heather out of all people. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I should have never acted like that. It was just a lot. And Heather, Heather was soaking in that. And she was like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's how I like it. And then in the confessional, oh, Heather, you were on my good side until last episode. She was like, I appreciate that she's apologizing, but I see that she has a dark side to her. But what about Lisa? You've known Lisa longer. You've seen every single dark side that she has to offer, yet you're holding Monica to a whole different standard. So are you also going to mention to Lisa, like, hey, that comment that you made to Monica calling her nasty, that was wrong, that was a little bit too harsh. You could have used a different word to get your point across. Or are you just going to, focus on Monica and what she reacted to? Because the ass kissing is so, it's so clear with you. Heather, like that is crazy. And besides, this whole thing is good for now because allegedly I saw a tweet on Twitter saying that the last 4 episodes, because we only have 4 episodes left before the reunion, apparently those 4 episodes have to do with the Bermuda trip. That's where they're going to be at for the remainder of the season. So I feel like once we land over there, Yeah, everything is gonna go down the toilet. We get to Meredith's jewelry event and she shows up with her husband Zeph and their son Brooks. And she looks nice in that yellow dress. She says,
My jewelry line is called Plated, and it's for the people who cannot afford the finer jewelry. This is more affordable.
so I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll go to her website, get a nice little ring, a nice little, pair of hoop earrings. And then I look at the price and it says 1,300. And I'm thinking, in the words of Nene Leakes, now where the hell does that bitch live at? Where this is what you call affordable fine jewelry for people who cannot afford it. Like Meredith, okay, I'll support from a distance, but everyone starts coming in one by one, and then we see Whitney. Clearly, she's not in the best spirit right now because her friend just passed away. Understandable. Meredith, she comes over and she's like, "Hey, Whitney, how are you?" Whitney was like, "Well, I'm not doing well. My friend just passed away." Meredith, she breaks down into tears and she hugs her and she's like, "I'm so sorry for your loss." Whitney was like, "Well, I still wanted to come out and support you, so I'm here and to support." Meredith, she goes to host her event, and we see all the rest of the housewives. We see Monica, she comes over to Whitney, she gives her a hug, her condolences. Then we see Heather, she comes on over, she also gives her a hug. That was that. And then we see Lisa. Lisa, she comes in between Whitney and Heather with a gift. And she's like, "Oh my God, Heather, how are you, baby gorgeous? Hi, Whitney. Hi, Heather. Oh my God, I have a gift for you. Oh my God, your event was on 420. I remember. Shout out to 420. That's my birthday. Here you go. This is my gift. Don't you like it? It's so chic." And I'm like, Lisa, no. And I don't even know how to feel about that because, everybody processes death differently, and I don't know, it's just, Lisa, it's just another thing to make you look self-absorbed and very unaware of everybody around you. But then again, what do we really expect though, because she doesn't even care about her own son's feelings, let alone Whitney. So and Whitney's just standing there like, okay, I guess screw me or whatever, right? And Lisa, she's not even acknowledging her or at least hugging her. At least give her a hug. You don't even have to say nothing. So then Meredith gets on the mic to do a speech and she's like,
I just want to give a big thank you to everybody who showed up to my event. My jewelry is very, very affordable. Allegedly. And I just want to give a big thank you to my husband, Zeph. Zeph, thank you for being my partner in crime and sticking with me throughout this entire journey of my plated jewelry. Enjoy, everybody. So everybody splits out to look at the expensive, cheap-ass jewelry. I'm like, $1,300 for some circle copper? Like, absolutely not, Meredith. But, again, I'll support from a distance. But we see Monica and Whitney, they're looking at the jewelry, and Lisa, she slithers her way over Whitney. She's so annoyed at her, and she's just trying to ignore her, right? And then eventually Whitney was just like, okay, I'm just gonna, separate myself from this. I'm gonna go talk to the husbands. So then Monica, she's sitting there with Lisa, and she's like, so, hi, hi, Lisa. She's like, look, I want to apologize to you for my behavior at the event. I'm like, no, Monica, no, it's already bad that you already did it once to Heather. Now you're apologizing to Lisa when she's the one that called you names? Whatever, right? Maybe, maybe it'll work in the long run. But she's like, I just want to apologize. I should have gone about it a different way. I just don't want to be like that with you and I want to start again. Lisa was like, you know what? I appreciate you coming at me like this. And you know what? It's completely fine. It's understandable. Like, I'm not even worried about this. I'm worried about my Jack and he's going on his mission to Bogota, Colombia. Why did she say that? Because all of a sudden, Monica, she starts trauma dumping again. And she's like, oh my God, you said Bogota, Colombia? That's my dad's side of the family. And my dad, we don't have a relationship. I'm like, Monica, look, Monica, I love you, but you really need to stop, every single thing that anybody does on this show, you always want to relate it back to your some type of trauma that you went through in your life. Like, I get it, we've all gone through stuff, but stop. So Monica and Lisa are good for now. So Whitney, she's by herself. So Lisa, she goes over and I'm thinking, okay, maybe now that they're alone, she's going to give her a hug. She's going to give her like some condolences or whatever. And she goes up to Whitney and she's like, so hi, Whitney, how are you? So me and Meredith, we talked the other day and I don't know how it went. I'm like, Lisa is insane. And you know what's crazy? That this is really who she is. Like, she's not putting on a persona for the show. This is really who genuinely Lisa Barlow is.
And Whitney, she's looking at her like, this bitch is not serious. Like, I'm going through something and she's just not acknowledging it. And she's like, oh, really? Okay, well, that's interesting. Luckily, Monica, she comes in between them and she's like, oh, Lisa and Whitney, can you come over for a second? She wants to surprise them with like Bermuda rum, I believe it's called, like these bottles of alcohol and some pastries from some Portuguese pastries, right? Because her family, they're over there and she has family from Bermuda. She wants to get to know them, et cetera, et cetera. But it was cute. Like, it was a nice, like, woo, we're going on a trip together soon, right? So then Whitney, she's by herself again. And Lisa, Lisa was persistent. She goes over to Whitney and she's like, so how are you doing? Like, Lisa was just so not serious this episode. And Whitney was just like, well, I mean, my friend just passed away and I'm not doing good right now. I feel like Whitney should have just stayed home because every conversation that we saw her have at this event, including with Brooks, was about, oh, I feel bad, I feel bad, I feel bad, which is completely understandable. And her feelings are completely valid, especially after everything that she just went through. But Whitney, you don't know how other people are going to react when you tell them, hey, I just lost a close friend to cancer. Everybody reacts differently to death. You might trigger something in them and then it's awkward. And, what if they don't know what to say to you or the proper thing to say to you and they don't say the right thing to you and then you get pissed off at them like for being insensitive. And I'm not saying that Lisa is right or wrong, but in the confessional, she did make a slight good point, because she was like, well, I didn't want to trigger her or anything by saying, hey, sorry for your friend's loss or whatever, and have Whitney have a whole meltdown or cry or anything at this event. So I don't know. It's just a very sticky situation. And it only makes it sticky because it's Lisa. Lisa, she's a very self-centered person. So is she doing this because she cares about her feelings or because she's really just oblivious to everybody around her? Whitney tells Lisa, I needed you, but instead you went to Heather, you gave her a gift instead of giving me something. You completely ignored me, and then you're cool with Monica, but just a second ago, you two were not getting along, and to me it's all fake because I needed you, Lisa. I needed you right now. Lisa, she doesn't get it. So she was like, wait, what? I sent you flowers this morning. Like, they're on their way to your house now. Like, what are you talking about? So Whitney, she does the best thing possible and she walks away from the situation. Clearly, she's not in the best mind frame right now. Her emotions are all over the place. Obviously, it's okay. Just walk away. Lisa, she should know that, but she doesn't. She goes after her instead. And I'm like, Lisa, like, why add more gas to the fire? She goes after Whitney. Again, Whitney's not all there in the head right now. Her emotions are spinning. Understandable. She goes after her and she's like, Whitney, what's going on? What's the problem? Like, what did I do to you? And Whitney was just like, it's just you make everything about you and you completely ignore me. And I mean, it is understandable. Even I do stand with everything I just said. But I mean, Lisa, that's why this whole situation is very sticky, because are you doing this from a good point, from a good place of heart, or are you just completely oblivious to what Whitney's going through, And then Whitney was just like, you know what? No, you make everything about you. You're self-centered. It is what it is. I'm done. I'm leaving. You make everything about you. So she storms off. Lisa gets in her feelings and she's like, what? I'm what? I make everything about me? You know what? No, fuck this. And then we get a hot mic moment part 2 on camera though, because she walks away. She goes to the producers. She starts taking off her mic like, you know what? No. Fuck this. I make everything about myself. Well, maybe Whitney should learn to shut the fuck up. And I'm like, Lisa, you see Whitney's going through something right now. Obviously, again, like I keep saying, her emotions are all over the place. At least be a little bit more understanding of that. Like, damn. Like, wow, Lisa. But Lisa's like, you know what? Fuck Whitney. Fuck this. Like, give me my mic. And then one of the producers or whatever, they're trying to like mic her or whatever. And then she snatches her hand away. She's like, no, don't touch me. You're not putting that fucking mic on me. Now, see, if I was the producer, absolutely not, Lisa. This ain't Phaedra, bitch. Like, don't snatch nothing out of my hand. And then she's like, I can't believe this, that I make everything about myself. And then John comes in, she storms right by him, and he's like, wait, what's going on? And she's like, no, Whitney says that I make everything about me. Let's go. I'm leaving. Fuck this. And she storms out, and that was that. Like, Lisa, you did not handle this situation correctly at all. Like, and this is part of you being insensitive and, not caring about other people's feelings, or at least, noticing the situation and where it was escalating. Like, stop pressing on and on and on. Obviously, Whitney's not in the best place right now. Just let her be, let her walk away and blow off some steam. She'll come back to you eventually, like Heather. But that was and then Monica, I believe Heather was like, Monica, what's going on with Lisa? And she was like, I don't know. I don't give a fuck. It's not me. Exactly, Monica. Exactly. Stay out of their business. But, that was that. And then I think we're off to Bermuda next week. That is crazy. Our first international trip next week. It's just, I'm so proud. But let me know what you all thought about this whole entire episode down in the comments. Bye, everybody. Mwah.